Hey, I'm back. Didn't make wasn't able to make a video yesterday because that's crap. Actually, sister's outside. Anyway, so today I'm using my biking gloves just to try. You know. It's 9 meters like that. Turns. It's a really strange paradox now that I think about it. Because in order to feed this, anyways, on to my list for today. Why I was busy yesterday. The past few months have been ridiculously busy for me, but it was especially busy because of my father bought a brand new router and Blu-ray player because we just got Netflix, so I got set up everything. So I have to get the model of it, and probably not going to do a review on it. So I'm starved. One coat, one guy. And plenty. Constant putting there. Anyways, we got the N600 Netgear router, so I just set that up. Had to set up my modem again because the one Charter gave me was pretty crappy. I had to constantly clone the MAC address on it, and so I just took a spare router we had running around, so I'm using spare router recently. The problem with the spare routers that I had to reset it up with Charter, and of course Charter's not getting really along with my new router, so the only way I can avoid this is by overriding your DNS. Overriding your DNS using OpenDNS. I've used that for a while. I recommend everyone use this. There's a link in the bottom, and it's that Google made I think it was Google. It was on Google Code or something like that. There's this tool named Namebench. It checks your internet. It runs your internet against several DNS servers, like a name server. It finds out which one's the fastest, and it gives you which one's fastest. The first time I ran it took like 2 hours, and then on this one it took me about 45 minutes, but it was worth it. It occasionally helps you. Supposedly it helps you speed up the internet, whatever. Oh yeah, Google's making an ISP, one gigabyte a second, gigabit, whatever. A legal loophole they're making up nowadays. Do we even have any? Oh god. Anyways, I think I'll discuss the difference between something like my laptop and the one you can get at Best Buy. My laptop is kind of custom. It was custom ordered, meaning that I customized it. It's a different configuration than the default one. It's a halfway point. I think it's a little more of second somewhere around there. Least expensive option. It has two 750 gigabyte hard drives, Core i5 2410 mobile, which is 2.3 gigahertz to 2.8 gigahertz. Turbo boosts up to. I don't know how exactly Turbo Boost works. The gloves actually are not too bad. I'm going for the mouse though. On my computer to shield me from the heat, so that's definitely a good advantage. So I'll take my glove off. Anyways, if something like mine or one you could get like for 200, 300 bucks at Best Buy is the quality of it basically, and then the components. It's kind of like comparing a Schwinn to like a Cannondale, if you know what I mean. I'm riding a GT bike, and in case you didn't know, Cannondale owns Schwinn, GT, Mongoose, I believe too. They own like a huge ton of brands. I think I might have mentioned this earlier, but Fuji also used to. Fuji and Panasonic must have used to. Fuji and Panasonic also used to make bikes, which is pretty interesting. My dad used to own one. The thing I never met Panasonic for, the top of my head, is batteries. But they make roller players and things like that. You know. That's the only thing I think of on the top of my head. Like all the Asian companies, and they're really strange conglomerates, I tell you. Samsung makes chips and ships. And almost actually completely different companies. And I recently got an argument with a friend what's better, a PC or a Mac. My friend owns a Mac, and it really depends on what type of person you are. If you're not going to be doing serious gaming, like if you're going to be serious gaming, get like you can custom make one or get like an Alienware. You can game on a Mac. I'm not saying that you can't, but for the price point, it's probably just better to go ahead and get a like an Alienware or something like that. The thing is that Apple's like a name brand, like Louis Vuitton, etc. And a lot of companies call it, if it was for the Dell logo on my laptop, it would look like someone would think it was a really fat Mac. Literally. 6 fair. So, excuse me. A good thing, this is really like a mixed blessing, a double-edged sword, that, let's see how much resources they have. That Apple tends to stay ahead of a curve. Like, they were the first to introduce USB. I think it was like 2001? They were the first to introduce DisplayPort, they were first to introduce Firewire, etc. Light Peak, aka Thunderbolt, was it used to be known? No, it's now known as Thunderbolt. It used to be known as Light Peak. That's been confusing me a little bit. Like the week, Tech Stuff. Like if you don't know who Tech Stuff is, they're like a How Stuff Works podcast on technology. And they did one on Light Peak, and like the day after it came, after I listened to it, the Apple announced Thunderbolt for the latest Macs. So at the time I was a little confused. Sister. But in case of things like a Firewire, there's a small people who still use them. Like Firewire is, from what I hear, I'm pretty sure it's better than USB, but it's just wasn't there at the right time. If it had been earlier, then maybe. People didn't care it was faster. People didn't care that it looked smaller. People didn't care of these specs. They said they already have one. They don't want to buy another computer. That brings me to, I'll actually explain about that a little later, but first let's go to security. Macs are not virus-proof, contrary to popular belief, at least to Mac heads. They, on the other hand, they don't have good security, built in at least. But of course, the default security in most computers is pretty crappy. I mean, it'll protect you temporarily. Like I had McAfee on this computer. I've been a zone alarm person for a long time. Oh, that explains a lot. Anyways, but Macs do have a lot less viruses. I'm saying that you have things like Mac Defender, which are which is pretty shocking in the Mac world. We have those on like on the Windows world. You see those on a daily basis, but in Macs, it's not common. That's a good thing. Apple did not really prepare for this as much as they should have. They touted its security benefits, but when it finally struck their response was pretty good, I could say. They were patching it up, but a new one has come out that does not require admin, like an admin password, so that's really bad. So you should watch out. Like my friend used to have like one of those fake antiviruses. Those are, yeah, malware. Fake antiviruses, and they just were spyware viruses to begin with. Kind of ironic. You know. And they would just, and if you find yourself in a position like this and you don't know what to do, always just get like AVG has a good antivirus. Not many will agree. Zone Alarm gives a good firewall. Finally, it's like, now for this, it's prices. Macs are more expensive. $1,000 MacBook, it pretty much has the components of an $800 PC. Ratio terms, the PC is a better value. But it depends on the person who you are, okay? If you like Macs personally, go ahead. Nothing's stopping you. Well, Apple's not really as cool as it used to be, well. No, for all their like lawsuits and crap and things like that. All things that hippies and their core audience, I should say, don't necessarily like. And finally, oh, not finally, the replacement cycle. There's food. Yeah, finally, efficiency 1. Mint. Gotta destroy all these towers. And rebuild them. And they're butcher. But let's see, the replacement cycle for Macs are a lot quicker than PCs. Like, typical PC user will replace their, like a typical person will replace their computer in like 3 to 5 years. Technically, it should, like, in the radio technology, it should be like 2 years. For Macs, it's like 6 months. Sure, you know, but it's the proprietary mindset. So. Next is, let's see, Macs do have a better looking operating system, must admit that, but you can just theme it. So right now I'm working on, speaking of theming, I'm working on 2 tutorials right now. How to use a UX theme patcher, and how to make a professional looking YouTube channel. So that will be out very soon. If you check out my channel, all my videos have been now changed into playlists, which is pretty cool. And in case you want to know what the theme I'm using on my computer, but I didn't show you, it's the Sony theme. It's like Sony with an E. You can find it on DeviantArt. I'll put that in the link below. So, and I finally fixed my printer, so I got my notes already instead of on my iPod, which is a lot worse. So, thank you for watching.